Hi everyone, welcome along. We are here to preview the Coral Scottish Grand National at Ayr this weekend. I'm Ben Linfoot, delighted to be joined by Matt Brocklebank and Kieran Clark to talk through the action. Gents, Scottish National Day at Ayr, a really good punting day in its own right at a week on from Aintree, Matt.
Yeah, really good stuff. Comes at the end of the season. Lots going on, aren't there? Lots of side stories, side shows. The ground is soft at the time of recording. We do expect dry weather into the weekend.
Perhaps a dry and wind.
I hope so. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fair racing surface. It does tend to be on the dry side at this meeting, and I just think it dries out quite quickly. And you've got a very sort of flat, fair track, haven't you? So yeah, lots of good stuff to get stuck into, and the feature race itself has many angles.
It does. We're going to go through quite a few of those now, starting with the time form ratings. Kieran, what do you reckon? We've got Mr. Vango at the top of the shop here.
Yeah, I was at Sedgefield the day one at Exeter when I turned around in the press room, looked at the TV to see a horse that was a fence clear, and that was Mr. Vango in one of those regional nationals.
Incredible win, wasn't it?
Just his only second run over fences, and then he came out and ran in the first time cheap pieces when he ran the National Hunt Chase. Now he was never going to beat Corbett's Cross or Embassy Gardens in that. He struck me as
well. He
did run well. Yeah, he was third. You think he's going to keep on improving. He's a stone higher than when he won at Exeter, but he'd have a chance. Be a poignant winner, wouldn't it, for the Sarah Bradstock team? I just think that the way he's gone up so much in the weights after he ran at Exeter, I think that might have potentially stopped his chance of winning another big pot.
Hard race at Cheltenham for him, Matt?
It was a fairly hard race, yeah.
Didn't go quick though, did they?
They didn't go that quick. He's an out-and-out stayer. That's what you'd say. That I suppose, yeah, he's going to have soft ground, but you would almost expect him to really relish proper winter ground. I do have him down as maybe like a Welsh national horse for next time around, but he's going to be one of the many sort of relatively well-fancied runners that are going to be prominent in this race, I suspect. And I think it's kind of where you want to be in a Scottish National, isn't it? Don't want to get too far behind. There's a lot of horses going around quite a sharp track.
So you want to be at Ayr in general.
You want to be
from there a lot this season, and especially on the chase course, it's a bit of a speedway. You need to be up with that pace. The fences are tiny compared to most courses. They don't take a lot of jumping there. And
I think to utilise his proven stamina, they're going to have to make this a test possibly from the very front of what's going to be a fairly congested. Up front, there's going to be a few vying for that position, aren't there, early on?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's have a look at our first video clue. It comes from the Cheltenham Festival, and it is Gitmaker, Kieran, in second in the Kimyar.
Yeah, he's there in the white on the inside. Now, it's safe to say he bumped into a handicap plot on this day, Scoop. I know the way you're thinking. The winner, backlight defeat was out of the question. Absolutely dotted up. He's since gone and won the Grade 1 at Aintree. We're talking about a Grade 1 performer, and I know one fell two out there, but Gitmaker's absolutely hammered the rest. And I know the way you're thinking was ridden a lot more patiently. Gitmaker was up there with the pace throughout. Now, this is rock solid handicap form. Yes, he did have a hard race, but he's been given plenty of time to recover from it. His favourite is rock solid. He's improving second season chaser. The only potential doubt I'd have is he a 4 miler? Now, if it does dry out, I think that's definitely going to be in his favour. That was 3 miles 2 there, and he did see it out quite well. I think sort of 4 mile on good to soft ground is probably going to be all right for him, but he's not guaranteed to stay, but he deserves to be favourite in my opinion.
Let's have a look at the pace map for a few clues, because quite a few of the market leaders we think might be jostling for position up with the pace in the early stages. You look at the likes of Away Fay, Mr. Vango. They're all up there, aren't they? There could be, a battle on for the lead here.
Yeah, I think so. And Inishore as well for Lucinda Russell. That's going to be up front. Away Fay is an interesting one, isn't he?
What did you make of him last time?
Well, he just wasn't himself at all for whatever reason. Obviously, subsequently, he was tested. He was found to have scoped dirty after the Brown advisor at Cheltenham. Drifted massively on the day. It just wasn't his true running, but he does have to bounce back. And for me, I just think this race has probably been at the back of the minds all along, but it seemed like a good idea at the time to run him in the Cotswold Chase, but he went there to get experience prior to going into the Grade 1 for novices at the festival. And he's blown his mark, hasn't he? He went up £8 or £9 for being beaten in the Cotswold Chase against established horses. So suddenly now they've ended up having a real blowout at the festival and having a much higher mark to defy come this, what may have been a big target for the end of the season all along. So I think he's up against it. He's a big weight, but interesting that obviously he's Paul Nicholls only running the race and could have had a few in this, I suspect.
Yeah, I don't think he liked the cheek pieces. I think he looked like he was a horse that resented him.
Bit,
yeah, because he's always been a horse that's run off the bridle, so you think headgear would suit him, but he never really travelled with his at all at Cheltenham. He looked beat a long way out. I'd be willing to forgive him, but like you said, Matt, he's got a hell of a lot of weight.
Paul Nicholls has got 1 in the race. Willie Mullins has got 6 in the race. I'm going to see one of his horses now, McDermot, Matt, who improved, I thought, this day for stepping up in trip to 3 miles.
Yeah, he's another prominent racer in the Scottish National too. For me, I don't really like his jumping technique at all. He fell on his penultimate start, and then even here, when he stepped him up, he's jumped okay late on, but early on he was really scratchy. He was sort of diving at his fences a little bit. Danny Mullins maintains the ride on Saturday, and he did seem to get a fairly good tune out of him. Like you say, open to plenty of improvement over sort of staying distances.
Yeah, he's real strong at the finish there.
Clearly at the right end of the weights as well for a race like this. So I would have respect to him, but when you look at the pace that they're going to be going in this race, the likes of Mr. Vango and Inishaw and Jipmaker as well, they're going to be up there winging away, and I just wonder if his jumping might come under a bit too much pressure.
Yeah, a single figure price. He looks short enough, doesn't he? I think.
Just for me, yeah. I know he was sort of anti-post favourite for this race. That sort of changed obviously on the back of Paul Townend being declared to ride the other one.
Just quickly on Willie, it does make you wonder how ready he has these horses, because do you think he's had it in the back of the mind, if I win the National, I could be in with this, we'll get these ready rather than in a couple of weeks' time for Punchestown? I just have the feeling that he's had a few ready on the go for a few weeks now, just in case he had a chance of winning that Trainers' Championship.
It certainly looks that way, doesn't it? In a really strong squad coming over for Ayr, so we'll see how many pounds he racks up in Scotland on Saturday. Another video clue, Kieran, is Inishaw, who won at Musselburgh from the front in spectacular style.
Yeah, first-time visor and a change of tactics was the catalyst. Now, I've reported on him a few times this season, and he was crying out for a positive ride. And he finally got one here, and Venetia's Scottish National winner won this and came on to win the Scottish National. Thunder Rock, something, was it? Mighty Thunder, that's it. Mighty Thunder, yeah. He's absolutely dotted up. He's won by 21 lengths. Now, he did get a nice time of it in the front end. He's not going to have that at Ayr, because like we've already...
Has he gone up about a stone?
Yeah, he's been hammered in the weights, but he wouldn't have got in if he didn't win.
Yeah.
10 stone 3.
14 pounds.
Yeah. He's much higher in the weights. He's a progressive young stayer. He's still at the right end of the handicap, even though he's gone up plenty. It's just if that headgear has the same effect for the second time, and as if they don't go too hard. But I do think that a nice prominent rise round here is what you want, and I think the track will really suit him.
Okay, final video clue. Matt, Bally Griffin Cottage for Dan Skelton, another trainer in with a chance in the trainer's title.
He is, yeah, and this horse looked really, really promising when making a winning chasing debut a couple of years ago. He actually beat Beauport that day, who reopposes, obviously recent winner of the Midlands National.
White cheap pieces this day when he was second.
Yeah, Bally Griffin Cottage. He came there with a winning run, looked like he was going to go through with it. He did just get a little bit worried out of it, and he's just got that question against him, hasn't he, just in terms of his mentality a little bit, because he went missing for a good season and a bit last year. He's obviously had one or two problems. I think there was reported to have bled at one stage, but burst a blood vessel after one race. But they've clearly got him back in good heart. He's gone up a couple of pounds again. He's up 3 there for being beaten again at Sandown. That's just not going to help his claims at all. I've not completely given up on this horse. I have always had sort of a bit of a soft spot for him. I do like him.
Do you think he'll stay?
I think he'll stay. Yeah, I think he'll stay. I think they've probably been had this race in mind for him. It's just really competitive, and he's about the right price, given those question marks around him and the fact that he's gone up for getting beaten again. I'm against him.
I think he's priced up on who trains him.
Okay, well, we've seen the pace map, the ratings, 4 video clues. It's selection time. Kieran, who are you going with in the Scottish Nash?
My Silver Lining, one we haven't even discussed. I think Inishaw will run a real big race, but My Silver Lining just turns up in all these big races. We've got the first 4 from the Midlands National. Mr. Incredible, who obviously Has his quirks, ran in the Grand National. We've got Autonomous Cloud. Beauport won it. But My Silver Lining, she's ran 2 absolute crackers in the Grand National Trial and the Midlands National. She's about 14, 16 to 1. She travels. She likes to be ridden handy. She jumps well. I just think you'll get a run for your money. She might not be handicapped well enough to win it, but she'll definitely be there far out. Just touching on McDermot as well, he's related to a real stamina. He's got a stamina-laden pedigree, so I definitely think he'll stay, but I was with you on the jump in front for him.
Yeah, he's just up in class as well. It's a massive jump up in class for McDermott. I'm actually with the most impressive trial there that we've just seen. Inishaw absolutely hacked up in that race, and like Kieran said, that has been a target all along, I suspect, to go from there into the Scottish National. Obviously, Mighty Thunder, who won it in 2019, he actually went to the Midlands National in between and finished second en route. Now, he'd gone up as well, a stone in the weight, £15 he went up between winning at Musselburgh and winning at Ayr, and I think this horse, it's been the target all along. They've given him plenty of good experience, not only earlier this season, but as a novice hurdler. They actually ran him as a 6-year-old in the Rendlesham in a Grade 2 against established horses who were rated 20-odd pounds superior to him. They've always known that they've got a good staying prospect on the hands here, I think, in Inishaw. And in a normal year, I know there's a lot going on in this race, and obviously Gitmaker does bring solid, good handicap form from Cheltenham into it, but in a normal year, this horse would be a popular favourite, I suspect. And if you're getting 10 and 12 to 1, I'm perfectly happy with that. He's a really promising horse. He's only 7. I think there's a massive days ahead for him. He could end up running an Aintree next time. This is a big one for him this year, and it doesn't get much bigger for Scottish jumps trainers than the National at Ayr.
Absolutely not. Inishaw for Matt and My Silver Lining for Kieran. I'm going to take you on, Kieran, with Autonomous Cloud.
Always do.
From the same race, though, from the Midlands National. I just thought a slight drop in trip, slightly better ground for Fergal O'Brien, who went close with Alvarado a couple of times in this race. He could reverse that form, but
he's a big price, isn't he? About 20 to 1.
Yeah, I thought it was a good each way bet. But a cracking race, the Coral Scottish National on Saturday. That's the main show done with, but we're just going to end with a couple of best bets from around the country. Quickly, gents, if you can just finish off with your bet of the day on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll go first. Sticking to the western coast of Scotland, I quite like Larchmont Lass of Paul Nicholls. Is in a really fascinating mares handicap hurdle. In like most races at Ayr this weekend, we've got Skelton, Nicholls and Mullins all vying to win a race. But I think a step up in trip will really suit her. I think she's going to make a lovely chaser next season. She was 4th in the big mares handicap at Newbury about a month ago. Usually that's strong form. I think she's overpriced at 11 to 2 because Willie's got one over. That's favourite, and she's not a bad horse, Willie's, that's come over, but she looks a bit vulnerable, I just thought. So Larchmont Lass about 6 to 1, who should improve for a step up in trip.
Matt?
Yeah, well, I was banging the drum for First Street before the Cheltenham Festival. He didn't get to run, so I'm going to have to stick with him in the Scottish Champion hurdle. That's a handicap hurdle. I think he can do some damage off 1-4-3, especially if the grind dries out. But my best bet at Newbury is Noble Order in the Spring Cup. That's the 3:15, a big handicap. He's ex-Godolphin. If he was still with Charlie Appleby, I genuinely think he'd be half the price if he is now. He's 10-12 to 1. Trained now by Archie Watson. Very impressive on his debut for the yard under Holly Doyle at Newcastle. He's gone up only £6. I think that's really lenient, and they could have run him in another handicap on the all-weather since, but they've decided to go for a valuable pot on the turf. I think it's a sensible move, and Noble Order can defy the rise, I think, and go in again, providing he stands up to his training a little bit better than he did previously for Godolphin.
What's the Linfoot banker? You said you got loads on the way down, Ben. So
I do fancy quite a few. I think I'd have to go with Favour of Fortune in the Scottish Champion hurdle for Alan King. Grade 1 form, ran well at Aintree on Boxing Day in second. I think a mark of 138, an improving novice in handicap company could be pretty lenient, so he'll do for me.
Yeah, the winner of that race ran a blinder at Aintree as well.
Yeah, his form's worked out all season. But good luck with your bets, gents. Enjoyed that. Good luck with your Scottish National wagers yourself, and we'll see you again next time.
Download the Sporting Life app for the best racing coverage, including live racing blogs, fast results, stable tours, trainer and jockey interviews, expert opinion and tips.